I don't know who it is, but someone is so fucking obsessed with what I think that they'll be in my fucking head all day, trying to figure out how I think and what I feel. Like, who the fuck could ever be in a relationship with somebody like that? When you want to talk about like a spiritual life and stuff, like spirits that you don't even know like who they are trying to communicate with you like nonstop. And when you put it like that, it's just very like, oh, like I have next door neighbors, or I went on a walk today. Like, this is just not that cool. It's like, yeah, spirits are trying to communicate with you and they bother you. They bother me. Spirits are trying to communicate with me nonstop, and I think they're bothersome. I've never met such annoying things before. To tell you the truth. Anyways, I tried making a dessert last night. I could barely wake up this morning. Get out of bed. Or two, like the spirit will try to communicate with you. Like if they don't like what you do that day, or maybe they don't like how you replied or responded to them, they'll literally try to ruin your day. So it's not just talking, but they're literally trying to ruin your day. And it's kind of funny because it's like I hope that I'm like the worst motherfucker you've ever tried communicating with. Like, have you looked at my life? You cannot ruin my day. You can't. If you can't ruin my day, how are you gonna ruin like my year, my life, or anything? You're not. I guess the spirit communication world, like it's gotten a lot worse or more chatty or something, and like they kind of wish that they could. Like I believe that this a lot of this stuff that happens later in life, it's for a reason. Like God implemented that law. Like you can't do it to like 5-year-olds or 10-year-olds the way you're doing it to like 35-year-olds. So it's like that's not an advantage for them. It's like I don't really recognize whoever it is, and maybe they wish that you had this personality like whatever whatever. But think of it as like a boyfriend or something. Like this motherfucker ain't my life. Like I have a life. Uh, you know, if I upset a spirit or whatever it is, or spirit then tries to ruin my day, like that's not my life. I don't know. This isn't my like you're not the only thing in this entire planet. Like I am more powerful than you are. Like there's a lot of other things going on than this one spirit. Like I'm going on. Like my heartbeat's going on. Like you know, who really spends their day thinking like, oh, this is the only thing that's ever happened on Earth, and it made me mad, and I'm gonna try to, inflict pain on this person for doing that. Like that's psychotic. Like I'm not in a relationship with these people, and you can't really spend your life censoring yourself because you might make someone mad because they don't know what they don't because they have problems. Like I'm not in an emotional relationship with anybody, and a lot of this shit is like very emotional for like these spirit psychos. It's like I can't help that. Like you're not no one's really the most important person in the room. Like that's my philosophy. Like no one, like that's how I've always lived my life. Like no one's the most important person in the room. Like Your day isn't any better or worse than anyone else's. How you feel isn't any different or any more valuable than anyone else's. And that doesn't mean that, that just means that's like this equal playing field. So if someone comes up to you saying, you made me mad, this, or the other, it's like, well, I see everyone kind of as equal. Like, I can't help, I'm not going to spend my day thinking about that or caring about that. Like, I don't care how other people feel about me. That's why you should have boundaries and shit like that. Like, I've always had boundaries. Like, I don't have these, like, emotional, crazy ass fucking relationships with all these different fucking people. Like, I see everything as like a classroom in a sense. Like, I was a very good student because I had boundaries. I never had a lot of drama in my life because I had fucking boundaries. I'm one of the toughest people when it comes to that. Like, I don't get involved in drama. I don't get involved in mess. I don't get involved in these emotional fucking bullshit things. And that's what I believe that it is. Like, if you look at my life, like, I really stayed out of fucking drama because I don't give a fuck. And so, I guess for these people that are doing all this spiritual fucking chaotic shit, that sucks for them. But it's like, I'm, a star athlete in a sense. Like, I surpassed a lot of this material world. Now I'm doing a lot in the spiritual world, but what makes you think that something was going to change there? Like, you shouldn't think that. Like, you can't change who I am. Just because you're so fucking mad doesn't change who I am. Just because, well, for whatever reason, you can bother me all day, that doesn't change who I am. And nothing's going to change. Just because something in this world is changing doesn't mean I change with it. And that's a huge fucking thing. I'm not gonna change just because something else outside of me is changing. That's not how it goes. Like, oh, this person doesn't like this person doesn't like that. I don't care. This is my goddamn fucking life. This is my fucking donut. I don't give a fuck. I think what happens in the real world is more important than the spiritual world, anyways. But everyone is so fucking emotional because everybody's so fucked up that you can't even look at a motherfucker because they're so fucking, you know, they have mental illnesses. Like, if you look at, like, that's kind of how I'm sure celebrities feel. Like, I can't even look at fans because then they just, like, go off the deep end. That's how it seems. Like, I just don't give a fuck. And I don't need to apologize for that because this is my life and it's always been my life. I never shared a seat with nobody. You know, my name card is my name card. Like, I'm okay that there's other people in the class. I never felt like I'm the most important. I've never felt less important than everyone else. But I feel like this is a class. I feel like this life is a fucking class. And I have fucking boundaries that I've been having for 30 something years. And that's not gonna change. I'm sorry. But I feel like this is a class. I feel like I need boundaries. I don't care that this person hates me the most. I don't care that this person I made the most mad because of what I said. Or because the teacher, think about it this way, the teacher, whatever it is, put these people together and I made this person most mad because they didn't understand what I was saying. Well, this person has a mental illness. If you can't cope, like these people that are doing this, they were never good in life. Or they don't accept life. They're trying to make it be something else. Really look at that. That's true. You're not going to be able to do that. You can't change what God has given me. the things that God is giving me hasn't changed. I'm not gonna get a third arm type shit. So until I get a third arm, why are your expectations different? They shouldn't be. You're just another person in the fucking class. You're not now the teacher. You don't get to fucking change shit. You might have a different role or whatever it is, but that don't mean you get to change shit, nigga. You do you. But I ain't changing, you know what I mean? No one's told me, no one of authority has told me that I have to change. Think of it that way. The class hasn't fucking changed. I'm not gonna fucking change for nobody or nothing. And until I get like a memo saying otherwise, like that's how it's gonna be. I don't care how many times this person with the mental illness comes up and tries talking to me. I don't care. And like people could be like, yeah, but doesn't that suck that there's like these people that keep talking to you? It's like, I do not give a fuck. I'm still in this seat. I still have my name card. I'm still a student. There's still other classmates or whatever. I can't help it that because some things have changed in the classroom, that people have a hard time identifying how important their role is, how that role reflects or affects this physical world that hasn't changed. I can't help it that they don't get that. But think about it. A lot of people that aren't right in the head, if they get a new role, they start thinking the whole, like, it's just a new role. Nothing's changed. No one's sharing seats. The name cards are still the same. There's like this is happening 35 years later. You really think 35 years later that something's going to change? No. These people have been given different roles. That's all that it is. Like nothing's going to change. Nothing's that important. Nothing's that different. Like nothing's going to change. Like I'm not sick in the head. I have a fucking, I'm like dope as fuck. I've always been dope as fuck, and that's not gonna fucking change. I like who I am. So just because something is annoying, okay, I'm not annoying though. That's that. What matters is gonna change. What makes you think that? That's what I want to know. What makes you think that what matters is gonna change? You know what I mean? This is 35 years later. Like, you should know, like, anyone with a sense of it, this is so common sense. It's 35 years later. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's changing. Maybe this person, you know, has a louder voice or something like that, but that ain't gonna fucking change. Nothing. This is 35 years later. Like, things are set in fucking stone. No one's growing a third arm, and I guess that's how they want to see it. Like, oh, these are third arms that's like how big of a difference this shit is. That's what they want. Because they don't have, they're not that, you know, stable. No one's growing a third arm. No one's growing a third eye. No one's growing a third row of teeth. Nothing like that. Nothing's changing, dude. it's almost like the like sped class is joining the classroom, and like no one's like letting the normal classmates know though. That's kind of how it seems to me. Because like the normal classmates, they've proven themselves for 35 years, and they're, for whatever reason, it's like, okay, this is, as much as no one wants to believe this, like, this shit's fucking obviously only happens because this class is so good. We're gonna let the sped people come in and just not even tell, we're not even gonna tell nobody how to act or whatever it is. But these people have such a good grasp on reality and the physical world and what matters and shit like that, that this is what we're gonna do. And that's like the new, that's maybe like the new, you know, class or something, kind of, I don't know. But that's like a very good analogy. Like, just because the speds have come in doesn't mean anything's gonna change. It's like, well, think about when the speds come in, it's gonna be more emotional, it's gonna be more chaotic. There's gonna be people coming up to you all day. You made me mad. You made me mad. You made me mad. Shit like that. Like baby fucking shit's going on. And it's not, it's like this class is so good that they have to be able to identify that shit. Like, this is immature, toddler, chaotic, unstable things that are going on. That does not reflect life. So how could it change and become more important than life? All this is sped people coming in because they want to experience a normal class, but everybody knows, like, you don't even got to tell the students that. They know that this isn't normal. That these speds are not normal. But that's like that's how it is for them though. Like, emotional things just overrun the world. Like, how they feel is more important than everything. It's more important than what the teacher's doing. See what I'm saying? It's like all this shit. Like, when someone says stop, they don't stop. Like, it's just so much fucking shit that you have to be able to cope with. But that's all that it is. You have to be able to cope with fucking speds that see the world differently and shit like that. They're not all stars. Hell no, they're not all stars. They're not changing fucking shit. They'd like to think that they are, but it's not to say I'm awesome. It's to say who you are and what's going on with you isn't ever gonna be more than life. You can never be more than fucking life, and that's one of the main things you don't understand. You need to take a back seat, but you can't. Life doesn't need a driver, dude. Just, that's what speds are about. They don't understand life. They don't understand their role in the classroom. They don't get that shit. They're fucking unruly. There's just so much fucking shit. They're fucking speds. They're special fucking it's a special fucking education for them. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking complain. Why would I complain? That's not my personality. That's not who I am. They let speds in the classroom. Well, who am I to be able to complain about that? You know what I mean? Because I understand my role in life. I understand my role in a classroom. I'm not here to fucking complain and shit like that. I'm not scared that they're gonna fucking change shit. And the last thing they're gonna change is like me growing a third arm and shit like that. It ain't nothing. It might be something new, but it ain't nothing. Basically, it's something new for them. And like all the kids in the normal classroom are just looking at it, and no one's telling them anything about it. You know, it's their day to shine. That's basically what it is. It's their day to fucking shine. Because for some reason, like, I'm not having to study a lot and shit like that. Alright, you guys are, you know, they're the most important kids in the class now. Maybe it's like, oh, now you're a sped. It's like, okay, you know, like as one of the students in the classroom, like, okay, okay, I'm still, okay, whatever, okay. I'm a sped now. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Cool. That's cool. The sped is gonna grade your paper. Oh. That's literally like how it is. One of the speds knows what you think about them, and now you can't go out for recess. It's like, look at that shit. That's fucking special education. That's you're catering to another motherfucker's like unstable fucking shit. You're catering to another person's specialness. This person knows what you think about them and they don't fucking like it and you ain't gonna go out for recess. Like that's special education. And they ain't telling me anything. But you really think at 35 fucking years that that fucking's changing shit for me as a student and shit like that in this life, knowing my fucking role, knowing my fucking place and shit like that? No. You can't help how you think about others and shit like that. That's called education. That ain't special. You cannot control how other people think and feel. And you think all of a sudden now because the special education stuff is going on that somehow overrides life. I didn't create this life. You know what I mean? I didn't create any of this shit. I'm not the most important person in the class and I'm not the fucking teacher. Just because today a special education student, a SPED, is saying, I know how you think and feel about me, you can't go out for recess. Ooh. That's embarrassing. But that's what they believe is education. It's special education. Maybe I am a SPED. If I'm being taught SPED lessons, that ain't fucking life. 35 fucking years later, that ain't fucking life. You can't control how you think and feel about another motherfucker. Like, this person doesn't want to go out on a date with me. Boom! I'm gonna teach them a special education. You think that's fucking changing shit? You can't even go up and have a conversation with that motherfucker and say, why don't you like me? I want you to like me. We go out on 5 dates together. That ain't life, nigga. You don't even know if you're like in the driver's seat of life, nigga. That ain't fucking life, nigga. That's special education, nigga. This ain't no sped class, bitch. This is motherfucking real fucking life, nigga. You ain't changing motherfucking shit. But speds don't know. Speds can't get that.